Welcome to practice. But we might start sitting today, and you could sit in a comfortable position for your legs or kneel down. I'd like to test out your kneeling. I'm going to put a little bit of extra blanket under my sit bones. So kneeling is very doable. And interlock your hands, and we're just going to start with little gentle figure eights of the fist to enliven the wrist. While you're at it, paying attention to your breathing. And other direction for your wrist roll. It's really getting them moving. Nice. Interlock your fingers the other way and press out through the palms of the hand. Nice big stretch for the hands and fingers, the arms. And draw the shoulder blades down. Your neck feels at ease. Good. And we'll stretch the palms of the hands up. Now, if you can't take your hands all the way back by the line of the ears, then stretch out through the palms, but keep drawing the shoulder blades down. So try to get your arms straight. Otherwise, keep taking the arms back. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down, lifting up through the index fingers and breathing deeply. Keeping the back of the neck relaxed. Feel the sides of the waist lengthen. And then releasing that side and interlock the fingers the other way. Pressing out through the palms of the hand, drawing the shoulder blades down and stretching out your palms as far as they'll go and taking your hands back as far as they'll go. You might discover some awkward feelings in your shoulders or your neck, but keep your neck as relaxed as you can. And deep breath. Really pressing through the palms, through the index fingers. And then releasing that side. Bring your feet out in front of you now. So you're sitting, and we're going to sit without a blanket and put the feet out in front of you. We're going to hold on to your knees and make some little spinal wave forward and back movement. Enlivening the joints of the spine and the core of the body. So I'll show you from the side. You could think about the chin and the occiput leading forward and back, and the spine following. There's another direction. See if you can reverse the direction. Nice work. Now, hold on to the front of the leg and lift your spine until you feel really supported in your lower back. So the core of the body is switched on to support that good health in the spine. And then we're going to let go of the hands a little and draw a circle with the whole spine like a big pencil. And the top of the head is the top of the pencil. I'm going to draw a big circle with the top of the head. You can feel the core of the body working to stabilize as you take these movements. You can hold on to your knees or hold very lightly, just as much as you need to feel that movement, to keep that supported feeling in your spine. Good, back to center and then the other direction. we'll try to keep the legs parallel. Nice work. Balance now so your feet are off the floor, and try doing the same thing. So reverse the direction again. It's a bit trickier now. There's more involved to stabilize. So the circles might be a little bit smaller. You might have to hang on a little bit more onto your knees, or you might be working with trying to be a light there, or not even holding. And then the other direction. Oh. Nice work. Now, if you can kneel, take a kneeling position and work on lengthening the spine. If you can't kneel, try lying on one side. So if I lie on my left side, just nice and relaxed, head resting on my upper arm, and see if you can stretch your toes, your right foot back towards your back. Good. And if you're on the floor doing that toe stretch with your foot behind you, then roll over and do the other side. Kneeling people, just kneeling, finding your breath. So lying down people, stretching your toes. Try to curl your toes towards the back. Getting a stretch in the front of the foot, the front of the ankle. Good. And then we're all going to come into an all fours position. Take a wider distance between your hands and your knees so that you've got room for that spinal waving. And you can make that as subtle or as big as it feels good in your body. You're bending your elbows to get a little bit more movement. And then the other direction. Woohoo. Good. Now we're going to have the hips over the knees and walk your hands as far forward as they'll reach and bring the chest towards the floor so that the armpits lengthen and you feel broad between the shoulder blades. Breathing deeply. Lengthening the back of the neck. Good. Lifting up so that you can bring your elbows onto the floor and lower your tummy onto the floor. We're going to have the legs parallel, feet pressing down. Lift your ribs away from the floor. We'll stretch out through the hands, each finger energized. So the ribs are lifting and you can feel the front core of the body really engaging. Even try to lift the pubic bone off the floor, the front of the hips. Good. And then lowering back down. Now, we're going to lay on the right side of the body, or if you need to be the other way around so you can see your screen, do that. But I'm on my right side. So I've got my right elbow under my right shoulder. What I don't want to do is let the shoulder collapse or the collarbone collapse. So make sure your elbow is tucked right in under the shoulder and you're bringing your shoulder strongly into the center of the body. We've got knees moving back. So the knees, the hips, and the shoulder is in one plane. Good. And let's see how we go. Lifting hips away from the floor. You want to feel really strong in your shoulder. If it hurts your shoulder, don't lift your hips off the floor. So powerful in your arm that's pressing down. Beautiful. You can even lift your left arm up. Nice work. Roll back onto your tummy. And elbows underneath the shoulders. Lifting your ribs away from the floor. Lifting the belly away from the floor. Stretch out through your hands and fingers. Maybe even lift the pubic bone off the floor so you're up onto your knees. Keep the lower back long. Nicely done. We'll lower down. We're going to roll onto the left side so that your left elbow is underneath your left shoulder. And remember, we want to keep the shoulder moving strongly in towards the core of the body. Wiggle your knees back as far as you can so they're in a pretty good straight line with your shoulder, your hips, your knees. And then we're going to lift the hips up off the floor. Maybe even lift the right arm straight up. Really reach out through every finger. Feeling that the heart is spacious. Forearm presses down actively. Shoulder moving into the core of the body. And you're breathing. Nice work. And rolling onto your tummy again. Onto your forearms. Elbows under the shoulders. And lifting the ribs off the floor. The belly off the floor. Hips off the floor. Powerful work of the core of the body. Beautiful. Lay your whole front self down onto the floor and arms back beside you. Turn your face to one cheek. Feeling the flow of breath. Nice. We've got the legs parallel and we're going to press the tops of the feet down. Lift the torso, lift the arms, lift the palms, stretch back through the fingers. Okay, now we're going to take that pencil analogy again and imagine the whole spine was a nice straight pencil, and we're going to draw a circle at the top of the head. The spine is lifting, goes over to the left, up towards the ceiling, over to the right. Good, feeling the back core of the body truly engaged here. Strong legs, other direction. Those circles in Salambasana. And then you're going to lay yourself, your front self, as long as you can back down onto the floor. Turn your head to the other side. I'm just letting go. Nice. Rest onto your forehead for a moment. Take the hands behind you and interlock your fingers. We're going to stretch back with the knuckles towards the heels. And then we're going to lift the torso again off the floor and reach back with your knuckles. And imagine you could lift your knuckles away from your buttock. Lift the knuckles up and back. And then laying back down. Lengthening your front body, turning your head to the first side, relaxing your neck. And one more of those energizing lifts. Forward onto the floor. Interlock your fingers the opposite way behind you. Straight arms. Reach your knuckles back so the chest is broad. And we're going to lift the torso. Reach the knuckles back. And then see if you can lift your hands. Reaching the knuckles back. Pressing the feet down. Parallel legs. Breathing. Ah, and then relaxing. And turn your face to the second side, just letting go. Nice work. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Push yourself up into an all fours position. And take just a traditional arching the spine up and down. Tuning in to where the body feels a little awkward with this movement, pleased with this movement. Take the hands out further again for that big stretch where the hips stay over the knee so that we lengthen through the armpit, through the chest and the arms, and finding that deep and satisfying breath. Mm. Nice work. Now we're going to kneel up, and you might need to put a blanket under your knees, and we're going to tuck the toes under. All right, hands are on the floor in front of you. Walk your hands until you've got your weight of the pelvis as close to your heels as you can, so you're feeling a toe stretch. I'm going to keep the hands on the floor. And then we're just going to lift the knees away from the floor and put them back down. Okay, so we're going to stretch the toes and the feet in this way. Nice deep breath. You might find that you can come into a squat position from here. I've got my feet hip width and parallel. You could take them a little further apart if that feels better in your knee. You're listening to your body here. Good. Coming back into all fours and then downward facing dog. Let's have the heels high and the knees bent and get that nice big stretch for the armpits again, the chest. Feeling broad between your shoulders, energizing your hands so your fingers are reaching out, pressing into the base of the index fingers. Feeling the flow of your breath. Good. Let's try walking one heel and then the other alternately down towards the floor. So pressing one heel down, then the other. Good. Waking up that stretch in the back of the leg. Keeping your neck relaxed. Good. Press down both heels now. Lifting your kneecaps and your sit bones, lengthening the sides of the waist. If the timing is too long for you, you could take a rest in child's pose. Following your lengthened, deep breath. Try to keep the weight in the hands, in the index fingers, and out of the heel of the hand. Good. And then we're going to start to walk the feet forward and get them moving as much as you can. So try to lift right up onto the ball of the foot before you lift that foot off the floor. Take your time. Give your feet a nice little stretch or big stretch, as the case may be. And at some point you run out of room here. And then we'll roll up. And arms up. Tadasana. Nice work. We're going to stand side on to the mat. So you're facing the long edge of your mat. Feet under your hips to begin with. We'll take the arms out from the shoulders. Palms up, then thumbs back, little circles. Try to reach your thumbs to the back part of that range of movement. Drawing the shoulder blades down. Your neck can be relaxed while you're doing this. Feel the lift in the front of the legs, the kneecaps, the quadriceps, the front of the hip. Powerful leg, your foundation. Bring your hands in front of your head. Come into a forward bend, halfway. So you're reaching the top of your head forward. Let's take the hands back now, beside, so the arms are beside the torso, palms facing up. And then start to reach the palms up towards the ceiling. That might bring the top of the head further forward. So palms are reaching up. Back of the legs start to stretch, and you can always bend your legs if you need to. You'll be getting plenty of stretch. Palms really reaching, fingers energized here. Feel where the weight is in the feet. We want that to feel pretty even across the balls of the feet, each toe print. Feel that long breath. Good. Bring the hands back in front of the heart and look forward. Draw the shoulder blades back. Good. And then bend your knees and inhale. And coming up. Good. We'll take the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana, looking up. And hands back in front of the heart. It's such a nice movement for the arms. You can press your hand and draw the shoulder blades down, and the neck is free. We're going to balance on the left foot. You're going to reach around with your right foot in the air all the way around your standing leg, and keep your foot and your toes moving of your right foot as though you were looking for something to pick it up in the air around you. So all the way around, testing out that movement. Your left leg might be wobbling, that's okay. And before you put that foot back down, don't just fall back into, oh, thank heavens I'm balanced, but intend to put your foot down hip width and parallel. Notice the different way of moving when you intend to be balanced. Okay, standing in the right foot, and we're going to pick up the left foot and really reach all the way around. You were trying to pick up something. I don't know what. Good. And all the way around behind your standing leg. And before you put that foot back down, have the intention of placing it hip width and parallel. Beautiful. We're going to jump the feet out now to your own leg length. Turn your left toes out so your foot is parallel to the edge of the mat for warrior two. And as you start to bend your left leg, we intend to get this femur bone parallel to the floor. I'm still not quite there. I find it too strong and I can't pull this hip back enough. So bend that leg as much as you can. And just make sure you've given yourself enough room between your feet. Your right toes are turned more to the middle of the mat, not away from your center. All right, so we find that leg bend. Where can we hold that? Let's bring the hands, or we'll keep them at the heart. We'll keep pressing them, we'll keep drawing the shoulder blades down. But we're going to try and move the right hip back so that the front of the torso starts to be parallel to the long edge of the mat. Notice how the left knee comes forward once you do that. To see if you can roll it back as well. So basically the hips are opening, the knees are as wide as we can get them, and we're dipping the hips down as much as the body allows. Lift the pelvic floor. We're going to take the arms now from the shoulders without lifting the shoulders. Ooh, so much nicer when you draw the shoulder blades down. Okay, we're going to reach back into the right hand, but looking over the left fingertip. Warrior two. Ah. Finding that long, satisfying breath and the work of the core of the body, keeping the spine healthy and stable. Energized feet, legs, spine, arms. Ah. And inhaling and coming up. Bringing your hands in front of your heart, drawing the shoulder blades down, swapping the feet to the second side. We bend the right knee and we check out that femur bone parallel to the floor or intending to go in that direction. Good. And we roll back the left hip this time. Look what happens to the right knee. It falls forward. See if we can roll that back. So we get this lovely feeling of opening the pelvis, the thighs, pressing the hand. And then reaching your arm from your heart. So the collarbones are wide, the chest is wide, the arms are energized, fingers. We're going to reach back with the left fingertip and looking over the right. Enjoying the breath. Lifting the pelvic floor so you feel internal muscular support. Lengthen where you can. Beautiful. And then coming back up, turn the feet to the front. Woo. And jumping or stepping, whatever feels good. I'm going to wiggle my feet in to feet under the hip. Pressing the palms. Drawing the shoulder blades. Boom. We're going to take tree pose. Standing into the left leg, and the right leg is going to turn out to the right. Now you can keep your tiptoes on the floor. You can place your foot below your knee or even above your knee. I'm going to keep the hands in front of the heart to begin with. Shoulder blades. Good. Again, feel that internal muscular support as the spine lengthens. Top of the head lift. We're going to challenge ourselves here. And imagine the spine again like a pencil, top of the head being the lead of the pencil. And we're going to make little circles, drawing a circle above the head like a halo, like my lampshade. And the other direction. All those little micro movements and levels of difficulty. Okay, coming to stillness now. Lift the arms by the ears. Virksasana. Good. We're going to release the arms and the foot with intention to place it back underneath the hip. Parallel. Parallel. Hands in front of the heart. Press the hand. Keep the lower back as long as you can. Good. And we're going to turn the left leg out. So your heel might be resting on your ankle with your toes staying on the floor. Maybe you've got your foot resting on the inside of your right leg under your knee or even above. I need to use my hand. Place it there. The more you activate the gluteus muscles here, squeeze them towards each other, the better fit of the foot against the leg. It doesn't slide off. All right, and then we're going to try our little circle, that element of difficulty, drawing with the top of the head as though the whole spine were the pencil, a halo above your head. Whoa. Sure does add difficulty. Other direction. It can be a tiny little circle. You're not wavering too far off your center of gravity. Ooh. Good. Adding all those little micro movements to the stability of the standing leg. Okay. And when you are done there, come to center and take the arms up by your ears. Virksasana. Whoa, I'm really struggling. And before you place your foot down, place it with intention. Release your arm. Back into Tadasana with your feet under your hips. Feet hip width. Legs parallel. Healthy joint. Have a nice little wiggle to take one shoulder up and back and alternating that. We're going to come into a forward bend again, halfway. Take the hands back beside you, palms up. Reach the fingertips back. Top of the head reaching forward. And then lifting the palms as high as you can so the top of the head goes forward or maybe even reaches down towards the floor. And the legs start to stretch. Bend your legs where you need to so that it doesn't feel like the skin of your lower back is pulling. Keep lifting the palms, reaching the fingers back. Nice work. We're going to bring the hands down onto the floor and come into a squat position. Now, if it feels better for your knees to take your feet wider and turn your toes out, then do that. Squat down as low as you go and your heels come off the floor, but we're going to lift the pelvic floor, so the internal muscular support. And then we're going to try and get the heels down onto the floor. We're going to do it just by twisting a little bit, wriggling around here, but try to press your heels down. One at a time, and then try to press both of your heels down. Beautiful. And just think about where you are, how this position feels. Maybe it's very awkward. You might need to come up to standing and then come back down to the floor to sit. Or maybe you can wriggle a little bit more flexibility into your feet and sit down without falling too far. Always a trick. And not hurting yourself is a really good intention. So always having that one foremost. Hey, we're going to sit up onto a blanket now. Simple cross legs. Take the diaphragm cross section of the body, so where the lower ribs are, and wave the spine from side to side. So use that diaphragm, keeping it horizontal, parallel to the floor. Take the movement slowly and feel all the little movements between your ribs. Abdominal and rib movement. Good. Let's add a little weight by taking the arms up. They can be nice and soft, but they're heavy and there's a little bit more leverage. But we're still waving the rib cage from side to side. I feel like I'm at a concert. And finding that long, slow breath. Mm. Nice work. And coming back to the center. You might be able to feel that mid of the body energized. We're going to turn to the left side now for Sukhasana twist. So take your right hand and put it on your left leg, and we'll turn the ribs. We've got all that movement in the ribs and the abdomen. Let's see if we can, with the exhalation, when the diaphragm moves up into the chest cavity, there's more room to move the belly. Let's see if we can get all those joints moving with this twist. And draw the shoulder blades down. And then find the feeling of the breath. Belly expanding on the inhalation, deflating on the exhalation, and then there's room to turn the ribs even more. Shoulder blades down so the neck is relaxed. Nice work. And releasing that side. Change the cross of your legs and change the side of the twist. So turning to the right side, left hand on the right leg. So we're trying to turn the rib cage, following with the neck, but so the neck remains easeful. Okay, let's tune into the breath, the big movement of the belly with the inhalation, belly expands. And with the exhalation, the belly retracts. And there's room to move the ribs, all those spaces between. Finding those spaces. Letting the breath be very, very satisfying. Nice work. And then releasing. And back to the center. We're going to lay down. Take the blanket and lift your hips. You can put your blanket under your hips. And this is for bamboo pose. So you want to get the feeling that your legs just balance. Sometimes that blanket needs to be higher or in a slightly different position under your hips to see if you can get your legs to balance. Now, if you don't feel like that and it feels like the core is really struggling to hold them, do this just with your feet on the floor and your legs bent. Otherwise, legs are balanced for bamboo pose. And on that botanic theme, we're going to take the elbows out from the shoulders so the arms are in a cactus arm position. And we're going to put imaginary sandbag into the hand. And especially if you have a discrepancy from one shoulder to the other, make the sandbag in the tighter side a little bit heavier. Mm. Mm. Good. Let go of those sandbags. Magic disappearing sandbags. And just let the shoulders and the upper back roll. Mm. Finding your satisfying. Gently bending in your arms and your legs. You can put your feet back down on the floor and put your blanket out, hugging your knees into your chest, rocking a little bit from side. Mm. Rolling over to your right. And when you're ready, coming up to sitting. Feel the work of the core supporting the spine. The secret core garden. Take the feeling of the practice into your day. Namaste.